Nope. Welcome everyone. We'll open up with some remarks from quarterback Geno Smith, and then we'll open it up for questions.
Good morning, everyone. Obviously today, it's a really exciting day for me and my family, but also it's an exciting day for the Raiders organization. Got two really good guys to my right and my left who helped me become a part of this, and we're really excited to get here and get to work. Really excited to get to know all my teammates, get to know all the fans, really immerse myself into Las Vegas and be a part of this thing. I've always revered the Raiders from afar, the silver and black, all the nostalgia when you think about just the NFL. The Raiders is a big part of that. And, we're here to win. We're here to do this thing the right way. We want to lead the right way. I want to be a big part of the culture here and just doing the right things and really just leave my mark on my teammates, on the team, and the organization.
Peter Monster with the Review Journal. Welcome to Las Vegas. Life can move pretty fast in the NFL. When you're Seattle Seahawks, and the next thing you know, the Raiders are interested in trading for you. Pete Carroll being your former coach. How quickly did all the boxes get checked off for you? And that's where I want to be.
Yeah, I mean, initially, when I thought this was a possibility, just Coach Carroll alone, drew interest here, and getting to know all the inner workings, getting to meet John, getting to talk to Tom Brady, and just really just understand what this thing is about and the direction they're going. I saw myself aligning with that, and I think today is the start of that.
Hey Geno, it's Tashawn Reed from The Athletic. I know you haven't played for Chip Kelly before, but he recruited you coming out of college, and you also coached your cousin last year. How well do you know his system, and what are your thoughts about his system?
Yeah, I've known his system from afar. He recruited me in college, when he was at Oregon, and I really gave him some thought. I thought about going there. Really liked Chip then, just kind of followed him throughout. So when we went to the Eagles, actually had an interview with them when I was coming out for the draft, so I got to meet him again there. And then, last year he was coaching Jeremiah, so I just watched their team. I watched the way that he handled, the injuries that they had. I watched the way that he managed having two really good running backs, and those guys, equally had 1,000 yards. They had a bunch of really good receivers who they spread the ball out to. There's a lot of things to like about this system. Obviously, I got to dive into it and really just learn the ins and outs of it and how he wants things to be run. But just watching it like a fan from afar, I was really impressed.
Geno, Levi was with the Las Vegas Raiders. Just based on how things ended in Seattle, how much of a desire was there to kind of continue this relationship? And do you believe that there was some unfinished business that you're really looking forward to kind of continuing with Pete Carroll with this decision?
Yes, sir. That's a great way to put it. I think there is unfinished business, and I think when people think about my story, Coach Carroll's a big part of that. He gave me the opportunity when not many people would have, and he saw the hard work that I was putting in. He saw the things behind the scenes that I do that allowed me to get this opportunity. But to be able to play for him, and again to be a part of this organization, it means everything to myself and my family. I was just telling him, man, I'll run through a wall for him, and he knows that. And I'll do the same for my teammates and for this organization. And so I just want that to be, kind of who I am, and I want that to be the statement of who I am as the quarterback of this team.
So I don't want to say that I might hit that wall before you get that.
When Pete took his year off, could you have envisioned a year later that you guys would be reunited? Not in Seattle, obviously, someplace else. Was that thought even?
I'll be honest with you, I didn't know this was a possibility. I mean, the way that life works, just kind of take it step by step and day by day. But it's kind of how God works, man. Faith, I would think, is a big part of this, and I think it's the reason why we're here today.
Geno, what about Coach Carroll makes you want to play for him and makes you think that other players would want to play for him specifically?
Yeah, he's very relatable. He loves all of his players, just like they're his kids, and he treats us all the same. He treats us like men. He allows us to make decisions and allows us to be ourselves. But when it comes to inspiring people, inspiring guys to go out there and play hard, this guy's got it in spades. He's legendary. His track record speaks for itself. But he competes every single day, and that's what I love about him.
Pete, besides the winning, obviously, what do you hope he's talked about it? What do you hope Geno brings to your locker room?
He's going to bring us great stability in belief in the kinds of things that we stand habits are so stellar. The way he works, the way he looks at the game, the way he looks at the challenges of it all is exactly in line with the way we think. And so he'll represent us in magnificent fashion. I think it gives us instant stability in a crucial spot. The history that we have and my understanding of G and how to help him be the best he can be. And he knows how to bring out the best in our system because he'll stand for competitiveness and the things we believe in. It's just a great fit. And I'm so thrilled. This has been coming. Today feels like the real deal. We're finally here together, sitting next to each other, and talking about getting out on the field, throwing football around it. And that's what we're all about. And so we couldn't be more connected in that regard. I'd like to say too that Geno went through a lot to get here, and there was a lot of years in there when he had to take the second seat, play the quarterback position. But what I realized in him early on, not before we got him, but once we got him, got to know him, that he was able to take every single day with a clear thought that I may play the very next play, and I'm not going to miss that opportunity. And he did it for a number of years. I mean, that's not like weeks. I'm talking for years playing behind Russell, and he just never let up on that thought. And it was so impressive to me. As soon as we had the opportunity to put him in position to take the lead, I couldn't wait. And he's been a winner ever since, and he's come back player of the year for really real deal reasons. And here we are now poised to go do something really, really unique. So it's fantastic that this is coming together.
Geno, how do you feel about the way things ended with you in Seattle? How do you feel about that whole situation?
Yeah, it's just business, and that's the way things work in the NFL. There's no hard feelings for anyone there. I have a lot of love for everybody there, really. I think it's just business, and there's new opportunity for everyone. And I'm so happy to be a part of this thing. I'm so happy to be here where I am right now. Looking forward to just creating so many new memories, and it's going to be exciting. It's going to be real fun.
Pete used the word stability a couple times. What you're going to bring? What does that mean to you? What does bring stability to the team?
Yeah, when you think about stability, I think about two things. I think about consistency, and I think about integrity. And those are the two things that I hang my hat on. I want to be consistent. I want to be the same guy every single day. I want to be hardworking. I want to be the first guy in, last guy out. And I want to do that whether someone's watching me or not. And that's where the integrity comes in.
Geno, the team did have a pair of 1,000-yard receivers, tight end, and Brock Bowers. What do you think of the weapons you'll be coming into with Brock Bowers and Jacoby Myers?
Oh man, I was just talking to Jacoby. We're so excited about just getting the chance to work together. I followed him from New England to here, and I always thought he was a really good receiver, really good player. Brock Bowers, he's an All-Pro, one of the better tight ends in the NFL already, and I still think he's got so much room to grow and to improve. And a big part of my job is to help him do that, and he can help me improve as well. And so all the relationships with the guys, from Trey Tucker to Michael Meyer to just all the guys, man, that I feel like we can use and we can be successful with. But it takes an entire team, it takes an entire organization, and every single guy is important. And we want to make sure that they feel that.
Geno, he was praising the way that you prepared us when you were number 2. You were always ready for that next play when you would step in. I guess where did that come from? Obviously, it was a long road for you in this league. So how did you kind of focus in on that and know that was a situation for you?
Yeah, I just believe in being a really good teammate. I believe it's important to the team that if I was to step into the game, that we would have to go out there and win. And I always wanted to be the reason for that. And when I was with Russell, when I was with Phil, when I was with Eli, Ryan Fitzpatrick, I always looked at myself as like a second coach. And I would be out there on the field, Pete be out there, and I'm coaching Russ like, hey man, fourth quarter, you're Kobe Bryant, and go out there and win the game for us. I'm just talking to him and giving him the same thing that I would want in return. So I think it comes down to the golden rule: treat others as you want to be treated, and that's kind of how I live my life. I want to make sure that I'm always ready, like the cliche says, so you don't have to get ready.
Geno, where did you learn that golden rule from? Was it your family? Was it a coach?
Sorry to cut you off, but yeah, my family, just my upbringing, being raised in the church, and just being a people person. Wanted to be a part of community, wanted to uplift my community, and wanted to make things better.
Geno, Heidi Fang, Las Vegas Review-Journal. Just wondering what kind of tone you hope to come in to set with the team kind of immediately as you start to take over the helmet, quarterback?
Yeah, hardworking. It's about us going out there and earning every single thing. And I want all of us to believe that we got to go and earn it. And I want to be the guy that's going to give every single thing that I got. You know, and that's every single day. I'm never going to let up. I'm going to do whatever it takes to go out there and win. It's important that my teammates see that, and they see that in me. And I want them to be inspired by that. So the work starts now. I'm looking forward to it, and it's really going to be exciting.
Let's go Carter and then Harry.
Hey, kind of along those lines, what do you want to get out of the next couple months here in terms of continuing to build those relationships with guys like Jacoby and Brock? What do you hope to accomplish by the time this regular season comes around?
Yeah, just get closer to my teammates. You know, really learn the name of everybody in the building. Get to know every single person in this building, and get to know my teammates. Get acclimated with the weather here. Get acclimated with the city. You know, find myself here and really just start to build it. You know, the way that we see it.
Geno, you went 7 years without much opportunities on the field, but then these last 3 years now have a team wanting to trade for you, wanting to compensate you as you deserve. How does that feel? And also, Max Crosby has spoken greatly about you. How excited are you to play next to him?
Yes, you know, again, the thing that we're here to celebrate is the chance to go out there and win. I've always felt that the belief in myself is always going to be greater than the belief that anyone else can have for me, and I've always had that. And so, being a part of this here, very, very excited and very grateful for the opportunity, but the work is what matters the most, and that's what I'm looking forward to. Max is a guy who I played against, who has been a perennial All-Pro, but the thing that I love about him is he plays the entire game, he plays hard the entire game, and that's something that is rare in this league, and that's something that, you know, when you look at a guy who's a leader on defense, if he can do it, you know, everyone else can try and do that, and everyone else can strive to be like Max. And so I want to do the same thing. I want to be like Max. I want to, you know, play hard the entire game and leave it all out there on the field.
Geno, what would you say are some differences and some similarities between your situation coming into Seattle versus your situation now coming into here? Throughout those, you know, experiences, how would you say your attitude has just changed going into this new opportunity?
Well, I'll say just perspective. I'm a little older now. You know, obviously I've gained more perspective, but my mindset has never changed. It's the same thing every day, man. Go out there and compete, go out there and win, do what it takes to be the best. And even when I was a backup, that's how I felt. And so I think that allowed me to stay in it. And now that I get the opportunity to start, nothing changes. You know, I'm still in my mind that same guy who had to fight, scratch, and claw for the opportunity. And that'll never leave me.
You re-signed with Seattle knowing that you were going to be a backup. Did you ever resign yourself to the fact that that was going to be your life in the NFL? And if not, what was the end game for you? Did you have a vision that there was going to be more?
Yeah, you know, I don't want to sound arrogant, but I knew an opportunity would come if I just continued to work hard and continue to believe. And right before Coach called me and said, hey, we want to give you the opportunity to start, you got to go compete for it, I was already saying I'm going to take someone's job somewhere. And again, not in a cocky or arrogant way, but I just feel that I'm one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. I'm out to go out there and prove it. I want to prove it to my teammates every day. I want to prove it to the organization every day. And then when the product goes out there on Sunday, I want to make sure that I'm one of the best.
Geno, you told Albert Breer that you had a meeting with Tom Brady after you joined the team. You know, what was that like, and what's it like having him be a part of this franchise?
You know, I got a chance to FaceTime with Tom once I was traded. You know, it's Tom Brady. It's a guy that, you know, I've idolized and looked up to, and I believe that he does things the right way. And I think that's something that I wanted to take from, you know, just watching his game from afar. Then you get to meet him. I got a chance to talk to him. I went to his home and you know, got a chance to just spend about an hour and just talk ball with him and just talk life. And you understand why he is who he is immediately. You know, he takes everything extremely serious. You know, he's a diligent worker and he believes in hard work, and I think we align in that way. And you know, I want to be a sponge. You know, I want to soak up as much knowledge as I can from him. I want to learn as much as I can from him. The greatest quarterback to play the game. I mean, there's so many things that you can learn. I think the main thing is that I'm here to win and I'm here to do the right things for my teammates, just as he did.
We'll go Mark, Zeke, Adam, and then Harry.
Yeah, John, where does he fit into your overall plans as far as building this franchise?
Well, we talked when Pete and I got these jobs, though. You know, every avenue we could explore to find a quarterback, we would do, and to have one that's as accredited as him, you know, I love. We were just talking about his journey, the adversity he's been through. It's going to be a great resource to our players in this organization. He's he's kind of seen the worst he's been through. He's come out the other side, and you know, we expect him to do all the things a quarterback does. Throw the ball really well, he can do, and then you know, be a great leader for us too. So, you know, you have a few guys on each roster that set the direction of your team, and you know, I know Geno's up for that task. So that's why Pete and I are so thrilled to have him.
Geno, you're entering season 12, I believe. You've been a starter, you've been backup. What has been the biggest lesson you've learned overall?
The biggest lesson I've learned is to stay consistent and to keep your head down and your work. I've, you know, figured out how to eliminate outside noise. I realize that in this business, it's the big leagues, and there's a lot of talk that goes on, but I understand that the work is what matters the most, and what you actually do is what matters the most. And so I know we're here doing a lot of talking today, but you know, I'm really about just, like Marshawn said, I'm about that action.
You kind of talked about the collaborative process of building the roster and the way that you wanted. Obviously, Geno, a big part of that, but like maybe what you had to do in Seattle to build it to where it was, and now here in Vegas, kind of compare and contrast that. Pete, I was sorry, Pete, I'm sorry. Just the collaborative process of building a roster in your
So Geno was about to answer that one.
Yeah, we started the whole thing out there, looking for the right people to compete with, and to make sure that we, throughout all of the opportunities that we could face, that we would exhaust them to find the right guys. And we found some real success in the second half of the draft, in free agency, in every opportunity that we could, we tried to figure out how to make us better. And really, to do that, we had to find the right competitors. And was our focus in. John and I are totally arm in arm and figuring that out here. And every opportunity we've had so far, we feel like we've exhausted the best shot to get the toughest, most physical guys that love the game. It's so important too. It's more important than anything in their life, with their families. That's what we've been digging. It's the same thing we want about it in that matter there. And so you know, the proof is in us putting it together, but we're very clear on what it takes and what we want to get done. And that you can hear in Geno, in the sincerity and the commitment and the conviction that it takes to be a great competitor. That's what he is, and that's what we're looking for. So I think this is a really significant day for us in that you can see how aligned we are, and the three of us are, and what it takes. And that's this isn't new to me. It's just an extension in the opportunity to show and prove it again here.
Geno, you played against the Raiders twice in Oakland. How was it now being able to have the Raider Nation in your favor instead of against you? And also, you were the first quarterback to play in Allegiant Stadium with fans in the stands back in 2021 in the preseason. That stadium, you got a dome. Compared to Seattle, unpredictable weather, how great is that for you?
You know, I think, you know, when I got a chance to play against the Raiders back in Oakland, was playing against like Charles Woodson in his later in his career, you know, Khalil Mack, they had Bruce Irvin, a guy that I know, and man, they all spoke so highly of the organization and just of the fan base and how they rallied behind the team. Being on the other side of it, man, it was tough. They always made it tough on me. You see the costumes and you know, the spike shoulder pads. I mean, just all the things that when you think about the Raiders, man, that's what you see. And to have that on our side now, I think is going to be special for us to go out there and compete and get the fans riled up and bring that energy and that juice to the stadium. It's going to be so important and so fun. And yeah, I was here with Coach Carroll actually when we played in the preseason, and it was pretty rowdy then, even though it was a preseason game. So I'm really looking forward to the fan base and just having them on our side and going out there and winning games.
You guys all set? Okay, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll spell it now.